Well, I've always said the only real Brexit is a WTO Brexit, a clean break Brexit, and that's what I think the majority of the 17.4 million people voted for in 2016. But we are where we are now, and people believed his mantra of get Brexit done. I mean, it's such a good election slogan. Even I was saying it towards the end because it's how people speak and it's what people want. And every time people tried to scrutinize him on the details of his new treaty with the European Union, he just reverted to talking about his mantra, you know, get Brexit done, stick it in the oven, it's an oven-ready deal, let's get on with it. And people bought what he was selling. So we are where we are, and now it's obvious that put before Parliament very, very soon, and it looks like that's what is going to happen. And on the 31st of January, we'll have Brexit, but it will be according to the terms of this new treaty that he is going to do with the European Union. So we'll come out of the European Parliament, we'll come out of the European Commission, yes. Will come out of the common fisheries policies, but there'll be a new fisheries agreement according to the political declaration. We don't know what that's going to be yet. The danger is for our armed forces that we will still be tied into the European Union's command and control structure of all the European armies, because the treaty makes provision to still be part of the European Defence Force, the European Defence Funding, European Defence Agency, and so on. So, you know, I don't think it's a clean break Brexit. So we will see what the details of any possible future partnership, future trade agreement will be over 2020, and then we'll know for sure. The one really good thing about this and him having a thumping majority is he roundly defeated Corbyn and his progressive allies, the Liberal Democrats and the SNP, although the SNP do have a majority in Scotland, which is problematic in its own way. But over the whole UK, we are spared the nightmare of a Marxist government which would have destroyed the United Kingdom's economy and culture very, very quickly. So, you know, whatever happens, that is one good thing. You know, people have believed in Boris. They put their trust in Boris. I think people voted for Boris rather than the Conservative Party, and maybe they also voted for Brexit rather than Boris because they believed him and that he would get Brexit done. I think if he doesn't deliver a very hard or hardish kind of Brexit, people are going to be very, very disappointed, particularly in the Labour seats or ex-Labour seats in the north of England and the Midlands, like Sedgefield, like Workington. They put their trust in him, and if he doesn't deliver on Brexit, and if he doesn't do other things that he has alluded to, like cutting immigration, ending the BBC licence, abolishing the Department for International Development, and slashing the overseas aid budget, and then spending that money in the UK, if he doesn't do those things, and if he is being deceptive, then people will be very, very disappointed in him, and I think there'll be a reaction. So he now has to deliver on everything that he has said and all the promises that he has made. No, they're not socially conservative. The majority of them are socially liberal still. And, I think the only party in the country that is genuinely socially conservative is UKIP. I mean, I know I'm in UKIP. I wrote our manifesto for this election, and I definitely made it a socially conservative manifesto. But, I mean, they're saying nothing about sort of the LGBT agenda being pushed into primary schools, which parents are very, very worried about. Parents don't want their kids to be taught about transgenderism at the age of 4 and so confused that they don't know whether they're a boy or a girl, for example. So they're completely silent on those kind of issues. And so the thing is, now he has a very, very large majority. He will either go one way or the other. He'll either tack to the right or more accurately to being socially conservative, which I think what a lot of people who did vote for him are of that mindset, or he will go the socially liberal woke direction. And so, that will become apparent and obvious over the next few months. I mean, my feeling is that he will try to avoid talking about any social issues, but then in a few months' time, the social liberalism of the conservative or conservative in name only MPs will become apparent. And that will be very, very disappointing to the country as a whole, or the people that voted for him, who a majority of them are socially conservative.